And here is the Artist's Almanac for February 25th, 2018. It's the birthday of French painter Pierre-Auguste Renoir, born in Limoges in 1841. Pierre's father, Leonard, was a tailor of modest means and moved his family to Paris in search of better prospects. The location of their home was in close proximity to the Louvre, which the toddler Renoir would begin visiting and later covet as his place of respite. As a boy, Renoir had a natural talent for drawing. However, he exhibited a much greater talent for singing, a talent that was evidenced and encouraged by his music teacher, who was none other than the famed composer Charles Gounod. However, due to the family's financial circumstances, Renoir had to discontinue his music lessons and leave school at the age of 13 to pursue an apprenticeship at a porcelain factory. In 1862, Renoir began his formal training in Paris under the Swiss-born academic painter Charles Gleyre, along fellow students Alfred Sisley, Jean Basile, and Claude Monet, and in 1866 joined the Barbizon painters, where he began his plein-air paintings in the forest of Fontainebleau, just south of Paris. Renoir had his first success at the Salon of 1868 with his painting Lisa with a Parasol, which depicted Lisa Tréault, his lover at the time. Although Renoir first started exhibiting paintings at the Paris Salon in 1864, recognition was slow in coming, partly a result of the turmoil of the Franco-Prussian War. But 1876 saw the display of Renoir's masterpieces, Dance at the Moulin de la Galette, and The Swing. Renoir was essential to developing Impressionist style in the late 1860s, but there is a decidedly human element to his work that sets him apart. Renoir had a brilliant eye for both intimate domesticity and the day's fashions, and his images of content families and well-dressed Parisian pleasure seekers created a bridge from Impressionism's more experimental aims to a modern, middle-class art public. Renoir's example became indispensable for the major French movements of high modernism, such as Fauvism and Cubism. Like Renoir, the forebears of these styles focused primarily on color, composition, and depth, rather than quick sketches of individual moments, and his composed, vivid paintings created a vital bridge from earlier colorists like Raphael, Rubens, and Delacroix to the 20th century giants Henri Matisse and Pablo Picasso. Pierre-Auguste Renoir died on the Côte d'Azur on the 3rd of December 1919, but not before witnessing, mere months before, his own paintings hanging in his beloved Musée du Louvre next to the old masters he revered as a child. He was 78 years old. It's also the birthday of arguably the most famous operatic tenor of all time, Enrico Caruso, born in Naples, Italy on this day in 1873. Caruso was born into a poor family and was the third of 7 children and only one of 3 to survive infancy. At age 11, Caruso worked alongside his father at a factory in Naples. At his mother's insistence, he also attended school for a time, receiving a basic education under the tutelage of a local priest, where he learned to write in a handsome script, studied technical draftsmanship, and sang in the church choir. Early on, his voice showed enough promise to contemplate a career in music. Caruso was encouraged in his early musical ambitions by his mother, who died in 1888. To raise cash for his family, he found work as a street singer in Naples and performed at cafes and soirees. At age 18, he used the fees he had earned by singing at an Italian resort to buy his first pair of shoes. On the 15th of March 1895, at the age of 22, Caruso made his professional stage debut at the Teatro Nuovo in Naples, before making his first visit to the United States in 1903, and would return the following year to make the Metropolitan Opera his home base for the remainder of his professional career. That same year, he made his first recording for the Victor Talking Machine Company, later RCA Victor. Over the next decade and a half, Caruso recorded scores of arias of 3 and 4 minutes in length, the longest duration that could fit on a 78 RPM record. Those recordings are widely credited not only with establishing Victor's His Master's Voice label as the most recognizable in the world, but also with spurring the growth of the record industry as a whole. Caruso's 25-year career, stretching from 1895 to 1920, included 863 appearances at the Metropolitan Opera alone. Thanks in part to his tremendously popular phonograph records, Caruso was one of the most famous personalities of his day, and his fame has endured to the present. He was one of the first examples of a global media celebrity. Beyond records, Caruso's name became familiar to millions through newspapers, books, magazines, and the new media technology of the 20th century, cinema, the telephone, and telegraph. Not many entertainers can approach the fame and popularity of Enrico Caruso. At his peak, Caruso was earning an estimated $700,000 annually from fees and royalties alone. Today, that would be the equivalent of just over $16 million per year. There was a day in this country when opera was cool. Thanks for listening. Be kind, do good work, and until next time.